What's going on, guys? Keen here, back with another vlog. Even though it hasn't been a long time since my last vlog, it's been a long time since the last time I'm traveling because of the strikes that are currently happening in France, But as you guys can see, well, I'll just tell you right now, I'm in Paris, basically. And the new vlog is going to be in a new city. So I'm heading there to the next station right now. But I just wanted to show you guys quickly, look behind me. Those are all the people waiting to take the Eurostar to London. So you can tell the strikes are still in full swing. And that means that a lot of people can't get on their trains, or like you just saw there behind me, there's a massive line. So now I'm gonna head to the next station, which will bring me to my final destination. What's going on, guys? So we're here, arrived at the city. As you guys can probably tell, the weather is excellent. So I even wore like 2 layers, but I might have to take this layer off. Sorry, there's a bus going by. But yeah, I'm in the Reims. I think I'm pronouncing the name right. If you guys want to search it, it's R-E-I-M-S. And basically this is a very cool city because it is where the French king was crowned for more than 1,000 years. And that's because there's a massive cathedral here, which I'm going to actually go to right now. But yeah, so basically the French king was crowned in this city during the time of the kingdom. And yeah, I just left the train station. As you guys can see, I'm in the city center. It's kind of cool. It's definitely not as impressive as Strasbourg, I will have to admit, which was the last city I visited. But nevertheless, I'm gonna make my way now to the cathedral and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright guys, I'm just gonna make another quick update, literally 5 seconds after the last one. But as you guys can see behind me, you have the tramway. So it's really cool. A lot of these smaller cities in France, like that are not Paris essentially, and like Marseille, the other big cities, instead of having an underground subway, they have these really cool tramways that you guys can even see. It's like in a grassy area, so it's really cool. And it's better that way because obviously it takes much less resources to make a train above ground than below ground. Alright guys, we're in the staircase going up to the top of the cathedral, as you can see. And I'm with the tour, so it's a 1-hour tour. And I'll let you guys see the view at the top. Alright guys, I'm gonna quickly record this video, but look, we're actually 45 meters above ground right now. And check out this view of the cathedral. So it is absolutely insane. You can see it there. You have a really good view of the city from the south. Alright guys, we're continuing on and just look at how cool this is. You can see all of those golden fleur-de-lis on the roof, and in general you can just have an incredible view of the city from here. So check that out. But yeah, I don't want to get lost in the tour, so I'm going to keep on going forward. Alright guys, we keep on going, and you can see just behind me, that's the top bell tower at the very top. And you can see all of those fleur-de-lis, those golden coated things, are each 1.3 meters in height, the big ones. So it's incredibly impressive, and it's kind of like it's surreal right now because we're just on the balcony, and right behind us is the city 45 meters below ground. Guys, look at that beautiful view. And sorry, I just realized I said 45 meters below ground, but we're 45 meters above ground, so excuse my error. But look at, there's a cool basketball court too. Very cool indeed. And you guys can see the construction going on. So basically the tour guide was explaining to us that with a cathedral like this, with all of this limestone that it was used to be built, completely degrades constantly. So it's always under repair 24/7. So a permanent construction site. Alright guys, it's so windy, but I just want to have you guys see one more look. So check it out, it's so beautiful. And you can even see the church just right behind me. Alright guys, and behind me you can see something cool. So like I said before, I showed you guys the center of the church. And let me show you. Do you see that bed of sticks just behind me? It's kind of funny why it's there. Because if you look, those counterweights just on my shoulder, those are the counterweights for the bells that ring. And if ever they fell, they put those sticks there to cushion the fall. But evidently, that's more of a homage to the Renaissance age, because they actually wouldn't be that effective. But they still have them there as a kind of homage to the Middle Age. Sorry, not the Renaissance. And yeah, if you want to scrub back to see what they look like again, I think I got it not bad on the camera. But yeah, so right now it's kind of cool. We're walking through the dome of the cathedral, which is now in cement. Those are all cement arches, but it was in wood before. And it was actually financed by John D. Rockefeller after this cathedral was destroyed, partially during the First World War. And you can see below me would be like 45 meters below ground where all of the parishioners are currently walking, or all the visitors in the cathedral. So we're kind of in the central section of the cathedral where everybody walks. Alright guys, so look at this. You have the bells just there beside me, and a bunch of the statues. And the one thing I want to quickly highlight is this statue has his feet there, and the rest of his body there. So they're built in 4 steps. And yeah, that's all. Alright guys, so I don't want to make the entire vlog of me touring this cathedral, but it's absolutely amazing. So look at that beautiful stained glass behind me. It looks contemporary. I think these were redone recently because that looks like a very like a modern art theme. It doesn't look like something that you would have thought of in the 15th century, which is I believe when this church was built. And yeah, so we also have another one which is even more beautiful. It's that one. I wouldn't say it's more beautiful, but it's just also very just awe-inspiring. And there's even some few more, so I'll show you guys right now. Take a look at this one behind me. So that one is also very, very beautiful. There's a tour group here, so I'll just get past them and then continue on. Alright guys, so check this out behind me. First of all, this is the most well-lit part of the chapel right now, so you can see how beautiful the stained glass is. But I'm going to focus back on myself and show you guys what I have behind me, which is a replica of the actual towers of the cathedral. So here's some quick facts about it. It's 1.5 meters in height and 0.75 meters in width, and it was found in an abandoned basement by a gentleman who is currently alive today, and he spent 700 hours in order to rebuild it because it was in an extremely bad state at the time. And just a few more facts for you guys is, oh sorry, it's 2.35 meters in height. And what is it? Yeah, so they needed, it's 80 kilos and they needed 4.5 liters of paint in order to repaint it. So it's really incredible. And just to re-emphasize, 400 hours to build just the statues, so 700 hours in total, and 400 hours just for the tiny statues. I'm not sure if you guys can see them, but there's tiny ones dotted around. This is actually the cathedral, the one I'm currently in, the cathedral with the most statues or ornaments in the entire Europe. So there's 2,303 statues decorating. I'm not sure if that's only the exterior and the interior, but either way, there's 2,303 statues in this cathedral, which is the most of any cathedral in Europe. That's incredible. So we're just gonna keep on going. I guess we're continuing on with the very beautiful stained glass. This one's a bit harder to see. Well, we just lost a lot of sunlight, so now it's much easier to see. Here, let's just see if I can give you guys a good glimpse. But honestly, this has to be the cathedral that I've went to so far with the most beautiful stained glass, without a doubt. And the incredible thing is, I have not even showed you guys the most marked feature of the entire cathedral, which is a massive circular stained glass piece, which we'll see at the end. Oh my god, guys, I'm just so shocked by the beauty of this cathedral. Like, there's not a single window that's not stained. So you guys can see here, like I said, with the permanent construction site, you have more construction there, but behind me you have the other side, which is symmetric, and it represents the same thing. But look at that, we have the circular stained glass and also the rectangular ones, and it's just so beautiful. Yeah, so like I said, I don't know if I said this already. Oh, I did mention it. So this is where the king would have been crowned during the French kingdom, I guess. There's another stained glass, but so basically, like I said at the very start, it's where they received their crown. So basically, Paris was the capital of the kingdom, and then Reims, which is where I'm currently at now, during the kingdom, during the French kingdom, was where the religious capital was. So in a sense, you can say this was the second most powerful city in France, because the second most powerful man lived here, which was the Archduke, or the Archbishop, sorry, of the cathedral, who was literally the second-hand man of the king. And just to show you guys from this angle, it's even more incredible. You can see all the way into the end. And one thing that I really wanted to highlight to you guys, where is it, is the placement of the organs. So I can't find it right now, but you guys can see from both sides. So that's what I just spoiled it for you guys, but that's the most beautiful stained glass piece in this entire place. But with respect to the organs, you can see that's one side. Oh, there it is. And that's the other. So there's no place to put the organs. But if you guys look just right behind me here, attached to the wall, you have the organs themselves. So you wouldn't want to be sitting right there during the service, because I imagine those things blast noise. But either way, it's a very interesting place to have the organs. I've seen them at the ends so far and at the sides, but here you can see it's kind of attached to the pillar. So it's a really interesting design choice. And we also have the chandeliers. So I don't know if I just haven't noticed this in other cathedrals, but you have just a bunch of chandeliers you can see hang from all the way up to the ceiling. And you can see they're all lined across down the entire hall. And so obviously that's for lighting, but I've never noticed really how the lighting was in other cathedrals because I think it was all natural light. But you have also here chandeliers. Obviously they're not on because it's the daytime. But yeah, the thing I just spoiled for you guys are the two massive stained glass things behind me at the front of the cathedral. I want you guys to guess how much it cost to restore them just a few years ago. 5 million euros at the time, but I think my tour guide said 8 million euros if you take into account for inflation. I might be wrong about that, but it's either 5 or 8 million euros. And it's just so beautiful, but it really, you can kind of understand why it would have taken that much money to restore because of how beautiful it is. And it's really massive too. I'm not sure if you guys can kind of capture the scale, but look at all those tiny chairs. And then you have that massive piece, which must be like, I don't know, 5-10 meters in between those in diameter. So yeah, I know I've talked a lot about this cathedral, so I'm just going to probably head to the next place because I've spent a lot of time here. But I hope you guys kind of enjoyed the kind of the little kind of synopsis or summary of this cathedral because it's very beautiful.